From Daily Trust News Center, this is the news. From Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.
On News Hour tonight, National Security Council to fully investigate security lapses. Peter Obi announces Dirty Baba Ahmed as running mate. President Buhari promises to bring relief to Nigerians in Eid al-Kabir message. And on the foreign scene, former Japan Prime Minister Shinzo Abe dies after being shot at stump speech in Nara. Hello and welcome to News Hour on Trust TV. I am Diron Onifade. The National Security Council has resolved to be more proactive to ensure that security lapses which had occurred over the past week would not reoccur. Minister of Police Affairs, Megridan Giadi, shared the resolution of the council with newsmen at State House in Abuja. He spoke at the end of an emergency meeting summoned by President Muhammadu Buhari on Friday. Kehinde Amodu reports.
In the past 2 weeks, terrorists have attacked Shiroro local government area of Niger State, killing a large number of security personnel. Terrorists have also attacked the president's convoy in Katsina State. But perhaps the most shocking demonstration of their increasing boldness is the attack on the Kuje Medium Correctional Center on Tuesday night. In that attack, a large number of Boko Haram detainees escaped from confinement. A sober atmosphere envelopes this meeting. The president is unhappy. By the end of the meeting, Nigerians are being fed with the same reassurances.
The security agencies are investigating to find out the immediate and remote causes of what happened, how it happened, whether there is any cause for taking punitive measures against who is supposed to be done. This things will be determined by the outcome of the investigations, which I believe will very soon be good. Come again? As soon as possible.
But the crucial question that pops up like a sore thumb is why has there been no single arrest?
No, some of them have been killed, but no. No, I can't give you the number now. I don't know the number, but because like they used to do, whenever one of these is killed, he's taken away, and you cannot know the number of people who were killed. But definitely, quite a number of them were killed, and many of them ran away with bullet wounds.
There are no clear-cut answers to these questions that have been raised by these lapses in security. It seems to give an impression that the security agencies for now are just playing catch-up. From State House, Abuja, Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
The federal government has declared all Boko Haram suspects who fled the Medium Security Custodial Center in Kuje, Abuja, wanted. In a statement on Friday, the Nigerian Correctional Service revealed the names and photos of 69 inmates who escaped from the correctional facility following an attack by terrorists 3 days ago. While declaring them wanted, the Nigerian Correctional Service confirmed that they all escaped from the correctional facility which was attacked by terrorists on Tuesday night. Contrary to the widespread belief that members of a terrorist group are northerners, among those declared wanted was Bassey Kingsley from Oron, a coastal city and local government area in Akwa Ibom State. Onyemere Asagba, who hails from Warri in Delta State, is another suspect and a member of a terrorist group declared wanted by the government. Governments at all levels in Nigeria have been urged to adopt state and community policing as a panacea to insecurity in the country. At a public lecture organized by the Osun State Muslim community, stakeholders said communities should be involved by owning security architecture in their domains. The report.
The saying that security is everybody's business justifies the need to involve all stakeholders in the quest to protect lives and property. Over the years, there have been clamor for state policing to stem the tide of insecurity in Nigeria. This came to the fore again at the public lecture organized by Osun State Muslim community, where the guest speaker Fatai Kolawole urged the government to explore state and community policing. Kolawole said community and religious leaders know reliable individuals in their various communities who can serve in the state and community policing arrangement.
We cannot just be talking about deterrence, using the police, using the military to stem the tide. But we are recommending that we should now take it from the bottom-up approach. And that means the community itself, we use vigilante in our environment, the community itself should be able to police themselves. The states will also be involved in policing their state. And in doing this, we must ensure that those to be recruited into the community policing, state policing are credible people, and they are recommended by community leaders who have proven integrity.
President of Osun State Muslim Community Mustafa Olawi noted that gap in the ratio of police officers to Nigerians justified the calls for state and community policing.
You talk about policing the country. Yes, the number of police per the population of Nigeria today is not enough. It's nothing to write home about. You can see how many people are manning Osogbo here, not to cover any other town. So we don't have enough police. So people are talking about community policing. Yes, if it's going to be managed properly, let it be.
One of the participants, Molikat Adekunle, urged security agencies to shun rivalry and cooperate and deal with security challenges.
Civil defense, then Amotekun, then we have the Odua, and all these vigilantes, provided they can work together. I think that will assist us.
Stakeholders at the event are hopeful that the relevant authorities will strongly consider the resolutions on the need for state and community policing to enable the country surmount the present security challenges.
The crucial day of Hajj has reached its climax on Arafat Day, which coincides with Friday, another important spiritual day for Muslims. Thousands of Nigerian pilgrims are part of this important Hajj ritual. Sharif Al-Hassan reports from Mecca.
The much-awaited day for pilgrims from across the world who have come to witness the day of mercy has come. The day of Arafat is the Hajj itself. Without it, there will be no Hajj. It is on the plain of Arafat that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam completed and perfected the religion of Islam. It is also here that the Prophet delivered his final sermon to the entire Muslim Ummah, which was passed on to us as believers. So Muslims are expected to pray fervently while staying on the plain of Arafat for their countries, for themselves, and of course for the peace and stability of their communities. Furthermore, it is also reported that anyone who prays on the Mount of Arafat, his prayer is as good as answered.
الفضل والنعم سبحان ذي المجد والكرم سبحان ذي الجلال.
saboda ka وقال الإنسان ما لها musulmi zai tambaye shi zai tambaye kansa me yake fa samu da duniya saboda ka ƴan uwa musulmi
tẹ̀mí ànábì wí àti gbogbo àwọn ànábì Ọlọ́run ti ṣáájú mi tí àwa náà gbọdọ̀ máa wí lónìí òun náà ní fún mi rò pé la ilaha illallah wahda ẹ̀jẹ̀ bá wà ní ọ̀rọ̀.
I feel I'm very happy, I'm very happy, I'm very happy. This is the first time I'm here in my life.
One will stand up, face the Qibla, and start special prayers in respect of his own life, his family, his other fellow Muslims across the globe, especially his country, local government, communities, and etc. etc. Should do the dua, perform special prayers for them. It is mandatory. So it is a very, very important activity to all the Muslim Ummah, because for those who are opportune should perform their own rites in the Arafat ground. But for others who are not opportune to participate in the Hajj of the year, they are also ordered or given as a Sunnah step to perform their own fasting on the same day at their own localities for a complete day. During that fasting, they should also perform their own prayers, and Allah will accept all the prayers.
The pilgrims will have to stay until sunset here on the plain of Arafat. Afterwards, they'll be proceeding to Muzdalifah, where they are expected to spend a night, and of course proceed to the first symbolic stoning of the devil in Jamarat. From the plain of Arafat, Sharif Al-Hassan.
And over 1 million Muslim faithfuls have converged on the sacred hill of Mount Arafat near the holy city of Mecca in Saudi Arabia for an intense day of worship and reflection on what is considered the climax of the Islamic Hajj pilgrimage. Muslims around the world who are not participating in the pilgrimage are expected to fast on the Arafat day, which carries a significant reward. Earlier on Trust TV's Daybreak Morning show, Imam Islam Ismail Chindo Togomo spoke on the significance of this special day, which is the first climb since COVID-19 pandemic.
Today is the 9th day of Dhul Hijjah, that is the 12th month of the Muslim Islamic calendar. The Arafat Day, as explained by various Islamic scholars in their literature, is of vast significance. One of its significance is the day when the religion was fulfilled. Allah Ta'ala says, Al-Yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum, up to the end of the verse, that on that day Allah has fulfilled, has perfected the religion of Islam. That is one. Then secondly, it is the day when Allah Ta'ala answers prayers. The Prophet of Islam says, Abdullah du'a'i du'a'u yawmi Arafah. The best dua, that's the best prayer, the best supplication is that of the day of Arafah. In other words, the supplications, whatever a person prays Allah to give him or her, Allah Ta'ala will offer that particular, will answer that prayer, will offer him or her that particular thing that he asks. Is it also the day that Muslims are being forgiven? Now, this forgiveness is particularly for those that gather at the valley of Arafat for the pilgrimage. And the scholars have explained, as explained in the book known as Nur al-Fajr, written by Muhammad Bello, that all Muslims are being forgiven, particularly those who abide by the ethics of Islam on that particular day. Meaning to say that Muslims are expected to fear Allah on that particular day, to be truthful, to refrain from lies, to refrain from rancor, to refrain, to abolish pride and other blameworthy qualities. So Muslims are expected to be humble to Allah on that day.
To politics now. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has announced a former federal lawmaker, Senator Dirty Baba Ahmed, as his running mate in the 2023 general elections. He made the announcement on Friday at an event in Abuja, saying the decision followed a series of consultations with stakeholders. Baba Ahmed represented Zaria in the House of Representatives from 2003 to 2007, and later Kaduna North Senatorial District between 2011 and 2012. According to Obi, the vice presidential candidate brings to the mission great personal, academic, and entrepreneurial strengths, as well as impeccable credentials with added value of rich experience in politics.
Labour Party is about you. Nigeria go better. When Labour Party come the rule. Labour Party.
Today is not a day for long speech, but to present to Nigerians that we have the best material to pilot the affairs of this country to where it ought to be. I have maintained before, and I will reiterate, that the problem of the country is leadership inflicted.
He brings to this mission a great wealth of experience from the background of the private sector to public sector and a global knowledge that will help in our journey of turning around this country. Today, our country is facing so many challenges. By the end of this year, we will need 100% of our revenue will not be enough to service our debts.
The undeniable, unchallengeable, fundamental reason for being on this ticket is to rescue Nigeria. Good job. It goes logically and without saying that you can only rescue that which is in trouble. Nigeria is in a great deal of trouble. Yes. I cannot afford not to be part of the movement to rescue Nigeria. The second reason is that I believe in the greatness of Nigeria. I believe there will be peace and prosperity. I believe Nigerian people will unite.
3 governors of the All Progressives Congress on Friday arrived at the private residence of Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State for a closed-door meeting. The governors are Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State, and Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State. Also present at the meeting is former Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose. The details of the closed-door meeting is not yet known. Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje on Friday said presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has agreed to pick a Muslim vice presidential candidate. He made a comment during a gathering of about 100 clerics at the Kano State Government House as part of activities to mark Eid al-Kabir. Ganduje, in his address, asked the clerics to pray for Tinubu to emerge as Nigeria's president come 2023. He also urged them to offer prayers for his administration's peace and progress. And Ganduje also asked the clerics to pray for his deputy governor, Yusuf Gawuna, who emerged as the APC governorship candidate in Kano State for 2023 elections. Justice Taiwo of the Federal High Court in Abuja has disqualified Sheriff Oberevori, the candidate of the Delta State People's Democratic Party, PDP, for the 2023 governorship election. Delivering judgment, Justice Taiwo agreed with the plaintiff that Oberevori ought not to be on the 2023 governorship election for the PDP on account of submitting alleged false and forged documents to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The judge subsequently directed INEC and the PDP to recognize the plaintiffs as candidates of the PDP in the 2023 governorship election in Delta State. He urged the court to bar PDP from submitting Oberevori's name as a flag bearer of the party. As the 2023 election season comes closer, certain factors will sway Nigerian citizens in the selection of the next group of leaders. In the past, religion, tribe, and party have been major influences, but it seems other elements may come into play this time around. But will these emerging components be strong enough to produce a new class of rulers? Chamun Dabeng reports.
Nigeria has 371 ethnic groups and 2 major religions, being Christian and Muslim. Over the past years, the issue of tribe and religion has been used by politicians to sentimentally sway voters.
Nigeria, before it became Nigeria, people were identified to their tribes. We had a system of political administration, traditional systems that are predominantly ethnic-based, religious-based. So from the north and the south, people had enclaves where they could trace themselves to. So when Nigeria emerged, unfortunately, we have not been able to federalize, adequately to ensure that people are able to, emancipate from that primordial and ethnic sentiment and join forces for us to build a nation. So that is why across board, our politicians are exploiting.
These days, social media has become a major tool for political campaigns. Thanks to technology, news can travel faster with a click of a button, while Nigerians now have access to information, whether true or false. But how much will this affect the mindset of the voter?
Social media platform is a microcosm of the Nigerian society. Even today, we understand that people now register fake accounts, right? Just to reinforce religious sentiment. Somebody from the north will register Chibuzo in Facebook and be using it to comment, right? Because we identify people's comment by their name and not by the content of the comment. And this is what is wrong. And as young people who predominantly dominate the social media, we must move away from this primordial sentiment. There is no need to register fake name, and continue to divide the country.
There are 18 political parties registered by the Independent National Electoral Commission, which have candidates for various positions. Though there are 2 major parties, the vote of Nigerians will be divided amongst the 18.
There are many places that you go that people are tired of political parties because they look at it and discover that the political parties zoned out the good people because they didn't have a godfather or they didn't have money. And the good people that they would have loved to be the flag bearers of the party end up being edged out. Mainly because probably they don't have that much money to run that level of campaign. Maybe, again, the godfathers feel that they are uncomfortable with them. And based on that, they edge them out. And so the populace is waiting and saying, I wish it was this fellow. I wish it was this fellow. But now he didn't win the primaries. We don't have a choice. So the political parties throw up a number of candidates in the parties that the population or the citizens don't want.
Nigerians over the years have witnessed growing inflation, consistent insecurity, growing unemployment and poverty rates, and have dealt with much uncertainty as to the future of the country. Many Nigerians seek for change, but what do they want as they prepare to cast their votes in 2023?
The stage we're in Nigeria, we've gone beyond party stuff now. We're looking at the personality, who is the person. So it's not party again. Party has not given us the dividends of democracy. Party has not given us what we need. So what we are looking at now, and Nigerian youths in particular, is who is the person.
In time past, we have been experiencing so much promises without fulfillment. They go there, they do what they want to do just for their own self. They don't mind the masses anymore.
Chamun Dabeng, Trust TV News, Abuja.
You're watching News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up after the break, Widows and less privileged persons trained in Yola. Stay with us.
Don't allow yourself to be kidnapped because
it happened to many families. Nothing yielded.
Bandits beating me at the time. I felt as if my shoulder was not on me.
We did nothing wrong.
Ni ina nan cikin kwance sai naji an yi gaba an tafi. Naji ba wanda ya taba ni ba komai na tabbatar to insha Allah na sha.
Wai ashe mai garin mu ne a kwance a ƙasa. Ban gane shi ba.
That if money is not paid on that day, the people of my village will really be sorry, which means he is going to kill me.
It is the way of life of the Fulani that is changing.
I thought we will not come back. I suffer a lot. I am a sickle cell. How we suffer, I thought we are going to die here.
Kidnapping is just an extension of catch rustling.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Hour on Trust TV. A look at our top stories. National Security Council fully investigates security lapses. Peter Obi announces Dirty Baba Ahmed as running mate. Moving to other news now. President Muhammadu Buhari has assured Nigerians that he would not rest until they get relief from the current security challenges and high cost of living in the country. The president gave the assurance in his Eid al-Kabir message to Nigerians. A statement issued by his senior special assistant on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, quoted President Buhari as stressing that coexistence and stability would prevail in the country. The president expressed the hope that this Eid would be a source of blessing, peace, prosperity, and safety for all Nigerians, and called for more patriotism to build a better Nigeria. President Buhari congratulated the Muslim Ummah in Nigeria and the world on the occasion of the Eid, citing for special mention the brave men and women in uniform fighting terror on many fronts and their families, as well as others held hostage and kept away from their families by wicked and heartless terrorists. And the Inspector General of Police, Umar Baba, has directed commissioners of police, tactical commanders, and their supervisory assistant inspectors general to beef up security ahead of the 2022 Eid al-Kabir celebration. Force Public Relations Officer CSP Olumuyiwa Adejobi said in a statement on Thursday that the police chief urged officers and men to engage in critical assessment of threat-prone areas. Police personnel are also expected to conduct thorough stop and search, organize raids on black spots, and employ other anti-crime strategies to sustain the peace and public safety in Nigeria. The Inspector General of Police, however, warned that personnel must be professional and mindful of the fundamental rights of the citizens and to discharge their responsibilities with all sense of decorum and alertness. Baba congratulated Muslim faithful in the country on the Eid al-Kabir celebration and enjoined them to celebrate and enjoy the beauty of it while remaining security conscious. The hike in the prices of rams and other sacrificial animals has made it impossible for many Muslims in Nigeria to offer their yearly rituals. Some residents in Lagos lamented how other food items for the celebration are also unreachable due to the high cost. Trust TV's correspondent Abbas Ibrahim Dalibi visited some markets in Lagos and now reports.
Eid al-Adha or Eid al-Kabir is an Arabic name for festival of the sacrifice celebrated by Muslims. Muslim faithful often mark the yearly ritual by slaughtering of rams and other sacrificial animals in honor of Prophet Ibrahim, who was to sacrifice his son Ismail as an act of obedience to Allah's command. Before Prophet Ibrahim could sacrifice his son, however, Allah provided him with a ram. But the hike in price of ram this year has made it difficult for many Muslims who want to observe the yearly ritual. Malam Muhammad, who sells rams at Abattoir Market, attributes the hike in prices of rams to high cost of diesel, which is used in transporting the animals from the northern part of the country to Lagos.
In lokaci yazo da tsadar rayuwa da rahinta duk komai tashi zai.
He said the price of bigger rams ranges between 400,000 to 700,000 naira, while the moderate ones goes for 150,000 to 300,000 naira, and small ones goes for 50,000 to 120,000 naira.
Wannan 55,000 ga su. Wannan 200,000, wancan 230 da 20.
The price of other commodities such as perishables and food items have also increased. The hope is for everyone have a peaceful Salah celebration. Though the prices are high, people should only buy what is affordable. From Lagos, Abbas Ibrahim Alibi, Trust TV, Lagos.
From the northwest, residents of Zamfara State are making last-minute purchase of livestock for sacrifice during the 2022 Eid al-Kabir celebration. They decried the rising prices of livestock for this year's Salah, with some saying they had to reduce the number they usually buy due to the rising cost of the animals. The report.
A visit to the livestock market in Gusau Metropolis reveals that there are livestock in the market, but the prices are not affordable to most citizens. Bashir Aliu said he usually buys 2 rams to perform the sacrifice every Eid al-Kabir celebration, but had to reduce his purchase to 1. He attributed the high cost of livestock to increase in animal feed. The ram here are of different categories and so their price. We have a ram of 30, 40, 60, 70, 80 and 100,000 naira. People who buy from those hawking will say the price is high, but if you come to this market, it is cheaper. Chairman of the Livestock Association, Ibrahim Gusau, and a seller, Aminu Abubakar, said the least price for livestock, especially ram, is between 50 to 85,000 naira. They appeal to the Zamfara state government to always deal with the livestock sellers in the state whenever they intend to buy to distribute to residents during the Salah season. There are a lot of livestock in the market, but we rear them in a difficult situation because of the cost of feed. A bag of chap which was sold for 8,000 naira is now sold for 20,000 naira, and the one which was sold for 3,000 naira now costs 9,000 naira.
I sincerely came here to buy ram. I got one, but the price is high and there is no money. There are livestock in the market. However, the prices are high. The list price of ram is 50,000 and some are 400 to 500,000, which only those who are rich can afford. In this Salah, you can only kill one, but if I get goat, I will slaughter since it falls under the category of animals that can be used for the sacrifice. The prices of livestock are high because the price of everything is high. A bag of chaff that we used to buy for 2,000 to 3,000 naira is now sold for 10,000 naira.
Trust TV observed that there was low patronage for livestock, a situation many attributed to high costs by the Zamfara state government and the former governor of the state, Abdulaziz Yari, for residents, especially the poor, for the 2022 Eid al-Kabir celebration.
We'll be back shortly.
Don't allow yourself to be kidnapped, because
it happened to many families. Nothing yielded.
Bandits beating me at the time. I felt as if my shoulder was not on me.
We did nothing wrong.
Ni ina nan cikin kwance sai naji an yi gaba an tayi. Naji ba wanda ya taba ni ba komai, na tabbatar to insha Allah na sha.
Wai ashe mai garin mu ne a kwance a ƙasa. Ban gane shi ba.
That if money is not paid on that day, the people of my village will really be sorry, which means he is going to kill me.
It is the way of life of the Fulani that is changing.
I thought we will not come back. I suffer a lot. I am a sickle cell. How we suffer, I thought we are going to die here.
Kidnapping is just an extension of catch rustling.
You're still watching News Hour on Trust TV. We begin from Anambra State, where the government has begun the demolition of structures said to be blocking waterways in Onitsha. Here's the report.
Following the expiration of the more than 2 months notice, which began in April 2022, served on developers and building owners who built several illegal structures along the waterway in Fege and environs within Onitsha, the Anambra State government has begun demolition of such structures. The exercise, which is being carried out by Joint Government Task Force, commenced from Bida Road by Modebe Avenue, Fege, Onitsha. The affected buildings include Mountain of Holy Ghost Intervention Deliverance Ministries, shops, and other perimeter fences.
When a little rain just drops, you will begin to see flood. At times, our business areas, so many floods destroy so many things. So I was just happy that this morning we just came out seeing government to evacuate some facilities to make a way for the flood. So finally, we just see some structures being destroyed. I believe it is like this that the former governments have been doing. I believe it not could be like this.
It's a good outcome. We do appreciate it, because the drainages are all blocked. Without demolishing this thing, there is no how you can dredge the drainage.
I think there are many works to be done first before this one, like removing the refuse dump all over the places. This thing should not be the first thing that government will do. But if the government authorities advise that this is the first thing, I have no objection about it.
Meanwhile, the Anambra State Governor, Charles Soludo, condemned the manhandling of Prophet Chukwuemeka Ohanemere, also known as Odumeje, by a government task force personnel during the demolition of a building in the Prophet's Church on Thursday. Governor Soludo also instructed that the task force personnel involved in the crime be made to face the law.
To Adamawa now, over 130 women have been trained in Yola to underscore the need to uplift women affected by insurgency in the Northeast. Stakeholders organized the empowerment event to support women affected by the Boko Haram crisis, as well as widows and the less privileged in society. Trust TV's Salis Lawan reports.
The over a decade-long insurgency in the northeastern part of Nigeria has dramatically affected the lives of women and girls living in the region, who are the most vulnerable. Over 2,000 women and girls are estimated to have been abducted since the start of the crisis. However, stakeholders and development partners are coming up with different programs and projects to ease the suffering of this vulnerable group in the communities. One of such is the 2-month rigorous training on tailoring and other small-scale businesses organized by a non-profit organization to give these women a sense of belonging. The women, who majority of them are widows, expressed gratitude to the Muslim Council for facilitating their assistance.
I was trained to be a tailor, and I'm happy with these kits provided for us, and will go a long way in boosting and promoting our business, which will definitely assist us to meet our family needs. We appreciate this kind gesture. We have nothing to offer this organization rather than to thank them for coming to our aids as widows. With this assistance, we will be able to pay our children's school fee and provide them with the necessary things they might need to succeed in their education.
Malam Gambojika is the Chairman Muslim Council of Nigeria, Adamawa State Chapter.
Those who have benefited, they should go and use the materials for the purpose of generating income for themselves and their families. And just as the director said, they should not only, they should also train other people. This is a very good gesture, and I appeal to other wealthy individuals and organizations to also support such projects.
He charged the beneficiaries to make judicious use of what they have learned. From Yola, Salis Lawan, Trust TV News.
On health matters, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, on Friday issued a public health advisory amid the recent increase in COVID-19 cases in the country and around the world. Since Nigeria's first case was detected on 27 February 2020, authorities have confirmed 256,695 cases with 3,144 deaths across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. Genomic surveillance, according to the NCDC, confirms that Omicron and its various offsprings remain the dominant circulating variant of concern associated with the spread of the disease in the country. It explained that the recent increase in cases may be in part or whole due to increased testing over the last few weeks, increased circulation of Omicron sublineages, an increase in seasonal illness with cold and cough symptoms, as well as poor adherence to preventive measures such as the use of masks. The World Health Organization, WHO, says 2 people in Ghana have tested positive for the Marburg virus, which causes a highly infectious disease similar to Ebola. Tests conducted in Ghana came back positive for the 2 people who later died, but those results must be corroborated by a laboratory in Senegal for the cases to be considered confirmed. WHO said in a statement on Thursday that the 2 patients in the southern Ashanti region Both had symptoms, including diarrhea, fever, nausea, and vomiting before dying in hospital. The statement said if the cases are confirmed, this would be only the second outbreak of Marburg in West Africa. The first ever case of the virus was detected last year in Guinea, with no further cases identified. We go on a short break now. We'll be back right now.
As the 2023 elections draw near, remember, evil prospers when good men and women only wish for peace, but never take a step to make peaceful elections happen. Are you a father? Are you a mother? What are you saying to your children as elections approach? Have you warned them not to let themselves be used to cause violence? Have you explained to them what the consequences of electoral violence might be? Do your part to make peaceful elections happen. Talk to your children. Protect them from unscrupulous politicians who want to put them in harm's way, while their own children are comfortable at home, within and outside the country. Let's join hands to make 2023 elections peaceful. This message is from the National Orientation Agency, NOAA.
You're welcome back as we join Chamun Dabeng for more in business. Abe, former Japan's longest-serving prime minister, has died after being shot while campaigning for a parliamentary election. His suspected killer admitted targeting the politician because of a grudge against an organization he believed Abe was connected to. Senior police officers in the western region of Nara, where the murder took place, named the suspect on Friday as unemployed 41-year-old Tetsuya Yamagami, who said he had used a handmade gun. Police said it was not clear if the particular organization mentioned by the suspect actually existed, adding that investigators were continuing. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida condemned the shooting in the western city of Nara in the strongest terms. Japanese people and world leaders expressed shock at the assassination, which is an extremely rare attack in the land of the rising sun. Back home, President Muhammadu Buhari has sent a message of condolence to the family of assassinated former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and to the government and people of Japan. President Buhari recalls that Abe will be remembered for his unwavering commitment to strengthening trade and investment between Africa and Japan. The president pointed out that under Abe, Nigeria and Japan enjoyed a strategic partnership, supporting each other's shared aspirations. The president therefore joined all Japanese in mourning the loss of an outstanding leader and the country's longest-serving prime minister. Okay, we go back now to Chamun Dabeng.
Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami has been petitioned by the Northern Voices for Equity and Justice (NVEJ) over what it claims is an unfair distribution of contracts for the ongoing Nigerian liquefied natural gas NLNG Train 7 project among all geographical areas of the nation. According to a statement by the group led by Kabir Ahmed, NLNG Train 7 project managers, including contractors Saipem and Daewoo and the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, NCDMB, are allegedly purposefully awarding contracts on the project to their proxies, associates and cronies at the expense of certain regions of Nigeria. The NVEJ indicated that there are very few companies from the northern portion of Nigeria or their commercial interests that are involved, despite the approved vendors list nearing 300. The group insisted that the project is still more than $10 billion, calling it a crucial gap that feeds the ongoing rift in Nigeria's socio-economic and political structure. According to the statement, this includes engineering, procurement, construction, installation, and commissioning, and is anticipated to last until 2027 or slightly longer, assuming everything goes according to plan. Under the second phase of the European Union's new Customs Pre-Arrival Security and Safety Program Import Control System 2, ICS2 Release 2, all freight forwarders, airlines, express couriers, and postal operators transporting goods into or through the EU, including Norway and Switzerland, will be required to submit advanced cargo information in the form of complete entry summary declarations. New advanced data reporting requirements for pre-loading and pre-arrival customs risk assessment must be compiled by economic operators handling, sending, shipping and carrying cargo, express or postal consignments to or via the EU by air. To minimize the danger of delays and non-compliance with Release 2, economic operators are strongly recommended to get ready in advance. Following fraud accusations, leading Nigerian fintech company Flutterwave Payment Technology Limited has responded to media claims that it was associated with an alleged money laundering scheme in Kenya. In a statement released by the company, the allegations of financial irregularities made against it were completely untrue and that it upholds the highest regulatory standards in all aspects of its business. It went on to say that this could be verified and that as a payment platform, it makes money from transaction fees. The fintech company reaffirmed that one of the main four auditing firms periodically audited its anti-money laundering policies and operations in a statement titled Communication Regarding Media Reports on Flutterwave Kenya. That's all for business news. I am Chamun Dabeng.
Let's now join Adeni Ajishafe for more on sports.
Ahead of 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, England, Nigerian Table Tennis Federation has released the list of players that will fly the country's flag. German-based Aruna Quadri tops the list in the fourth appearance in the competition, having appeared first in Delhi, India in 2010. 2019 All-African Games champion Olajide Omotayo Bode Abiodun and debutant Amadio Ome. Fatima Bello, who caused upset at the 2022 ITTF African Cup alongside Edem Offiong, Esther Oribamiche and Ajoke Ojomu as members of the women's team. The team will be coached by Nonsiri Bello and Dotun Moni while the game runs from July 28 to August 8, 2022. And in handball, ahead of 2022 Senior Men's Handball Championship, Cairo, Egypt has been confirmed as host of the competition. The qualified teams were drawn into four groups in Group A, Morocco, Egypt, the host country, and Cameroon, with battle for honors, while in Group B, which consists of Gabon, Algeria, Guinea, and Kenya, Group C includes Tunisia, Cape Verde, and Nigeria. Angola, Republic of Congo, Senegal, and Zambia are in Group D. After the preliminary round, the top two teams from each group will advance to the main round quarterfinals in July 15, semi-finals on July 16, and the final July 18. Top five teams in the overall standing will qualify for the 2023 World Championship to be co-hosted by Poland and Sweden. Nigerian handball team plays in Group C have been in camp in Abuja ahead of the championship commencing on 11th of July 2022. That's sport news. I am Adeni Ajishafe.
Further on sports, former Arsenal and England midfield star Jack Wilshere has announced his retirement from professional football aged 30. Wilshere made the announcement on his verified Twitter handle on Friday. The midfielder burst into the scene as a 16-year-old and became the youngest player in the club's history when he made his debut in 2008. During his time at Arsenal, Wilshere won 2 FA Cups in 2014 and 2015, and also the Community Shield in 2014. He was named PFA Young Player of the Year in 2011 and was included in the PFA Premier League Team of the Year in the 2010-2011 season and was named Arsenal Player of the Season in the 2010-2011 campaign. And lastly, tonight on News Hour, christened Africa's elephant doctor, Dr. Audrey Delinsk is pioneering work as an advocate in the protection and welfare of the endangered beast in Africa's savanna and forest. Here, she shared insights from her 25-year journey with the Earth's biggest land mammals.
Culling refers to the killing of the entire population or a segment of that population. For every female elephant that we vaccinate, we are saving the death of a potential 8 to 10 elephants. This ultimately is going to be the answer to preserving elephants for the future, promoting coexistence with elephant populations and these surrounding communities.
And that'll be it on News Hour on Trust TV for this Friday. You can join us for more news on all our social media platforms. My name is Diron Onefade. Have a nice weekend.